Feeling overwhelmed and burdened by life's challenges? You're not alone. Join me on a transformative journey through 3 captivating Buddhist stories that promise to uplift your spirits and offer profound wisdom. These tales of a raven, a king, and a lotus flower will guide you to discover peace, resilience, and hope amidst life's trials. Whether you're seeking comfort or a new perspective, these stories rooted in Buddhist philosophy will provide the insights you need to navigate through your difficulties and find inner calm. The Journey of the Raven. Once upon a time, in a dense forest, there lived a raven who was deeply unhappy with his life. Perched on a high branch, he often cried, lamenting his fate. "Why must I be a raven? No one loves me. They shoo me away and I have nothing to eat. Death would be better than this miserable existence," he would mutter to himself. One day, a monk, sitting beneath the same tree, felt a drop of the raven's tears fall on his cheek. Looking up, he saw the sorrowful bird and asked, "My friend, why are you crying?" The raven replied, "Wise one, I am deeply upset with my life. No one loves me. Everyone hates me. What is the point of living such a life?" The monk, filled with compassion, said, "We should learn to be happy in whatever condition we are in. But if you are so unhappy, tell me, what do you wish to be?" The raven brightened up and said, "Oh, blessed one, if you truly want to help me, please make me a swan." The monk nodded. "I can make you a swan, but first, go and ask the swan if he is happy with his life. Return to me with your findings." The raven, hopeful for the first time, flew off to find a swan. He soon found one swimming gracefully in a pond and said, "You are so beautiful, as white as milk. Everyone must love you. You must be the happiest bird in the world." The swan sighed. "No, my friend, I am not happy. Although I am beautiful, I lack the vibrant colors other birds have. I think the parrot must be the happiest bird with his colorful feathers." Eager to find happiness, the raven flew to meet a parrot. "Oh, parrot, you are so colorful and beautiful. You must be the happiest bird in the world." The parrot responded with a heavy heart. "No, my friend, I am not happy. People keep me in cages, and I am always afraid. I think the peacock, with its magnificent colors, must be the happiest bird." Determined, the raven searched for a peacock and found one in a zoo. "Dear peacock, you are so beautiful. Thousands of people come to see you every day. You must be the happiest bird on the planet." The peacock sighed deeply. "I always thought I was the happiest, but because of my beauty, I am trapped in this zoo. People pluck my feathers, which hurts me. I have observed the zoo carefully and realized that you, the raven, are the only bird not kept in a cage. You are free to fly anywhere." Hearing this, the raven was taken aback. He flew back to the monk and said, "Wise one, I do not want to be anything else. I am happy to be what I am." This story teaches us that we often compare ourselves to others and feel unhappy. But true happiness comes from accepting and appreciating what we have. Instead of constantly comparing ourselves to others, we should learn to find joy in our own unique existence. The Enlightened King. Long ago, in a majestic kingdom, there was a powerful king named Ashoka. Despite his immense wealth, power, and the love of his people, King Ashoka felt a deep sense of dissatisfaction. He constantly worried about losing his kingdom, his wealth, and his loved ones. His mind was a battlefield of fears and anxieties. One day, as King Ashoka walked through his palace gardens, he came across a beautiful rose. As he admired its beauty, he suddenly noticed a wilted petal fall to the ground. This simple act filled him with a profound sense of sorrow. Is this the fate of all beauty? He wondered. The thought of everything he loved fading away filled him with dread. Determined to find answers, King Ashoka invited a revered monk named Bhante to his palace. The monk was known for his wisdom and serene presence. The king poured out his heart. "Wise monk, despite having everything, I am constantly anxious and unhappy. How can I find true peace and contentment?" Bhante Ananda listened patiently and then replied, "Your Majesty, to find peace, you must understand the nature of impermanence." The monk handed the king a simple golden ring and said, "Engraved inside this ring is a phrase that holds the secret to overcoming your sadness and anxiety. But you may only look at it when you are in deep distress." Months passed, and the kingdom faced a severe drought. Crops failed, people were starving, and a rebellion threatened to overthrow the king. In his moment of deepest despair, King Ashoka remembered the ring. With trembling hands, he took it off and read the inscription inside. It said, "This too shall pass." The king felt a profound sense of relief wash over him. He realized that all his worries and fears were temporary. The drought eventually ended, the crops grew again, and peace was restored to his kingdom. The king began to apply this wisdom to all aspects of his life. Whenever he faced challenges or felt overwhelmed, he would remind himself, "This too shall pass." To celebrate the end of the drought and the return of prosperity, King Ashoka organized a grand festival of lights. Lanterns were lit all over the kingdom, symbolizing hope and renewal. During the festival, the king addressed his people. "My beloved people, I have learned a valuable lesson during our hardships. Life is full of ups and downs, but nothing lasts forever. Just as the drought has passed, so too will our sorrows and fears." The king's newfound peace and wisdom spread throughout the kingdom. He taught his people to embrace the impermanent nature of life, helping them find their own peace and happiness. The villagers began to live more mindfully, appreciating the good times and understanding that the bad times would also pass. Inspired by the rose that had initially sparked his sorrow, King Ashoka created a magnificent garden in the heart of his palace. He named it the Garden of Impermanence. The garden was designed to bloom with different flowers each season, symbolizing the cyclical nature of life. Every visitor to the garden was reminded of the beauty of impermanence and the transient nature of all things. This story about King Ashoka teaches us that life is full of ups and downs, but nothing lasts forever. By understanding the temporary nature of everything, we can find peace and resilience in any situation. Remember, no matter how difficult life may seem, this too shall pass. The Compassionate Lotus. In a serene pond surrounded by muddy waters, there lay a lotus seed buried deep in the muck. It was dark and isolated, and the seed felt forgotten and insignificant. "Why am I stuck in this mud?" it wondered, feeling a profound sense of sadness and despair. One day, an inner voice whispered to the seed, "You have the potential to rise above this darkness and bloom into something beautiful. Trust the process and keep growing." Encouraged by this voice, the seed began to sprout, pushing through the thick, heavy mud. The journey was incredibly difficult. The seed encountered countless obstacles, from rocks that blocked its path to thick layers of mud that tried to suffocate its spirit. There were moments when it felt like giving up, but it remembered the inner voice and continued to strive upwards. After much struggle, the lotus finally broke through the surface of the pond and was greeted by the warm rays of the sun. It began to bloom, revealing its stunning petals to the world. The journey through the mud had made it strong and resilient. It realized that the mud, rather than being a hindrance, was a necessary part of its growth. Without the struggle through the muck, it could never have achieved such beauty and strength. As the lotus opened fully, it could see the world in a new light. The muddy pond that once seemed like a prison was now a place of nourishment and life. The lotus understood that true beauty and strength come from overcoming challenges, and that the darkest parts of its journey were essential to its transformation. The lotus, now a symbol of purity and enlightenment, wanted to share its newfound wisdom. It whispered to the seeds still buried in the mud, "Do not despair. The darkness you feel is only temporary. Trust the process and keep growing. One day, you too will rise above and bloom." The seeds listened to the lotus and felt a spark of hope. They began their own journeys, inspired by the lotus's story of resilience and transformation. The pond, once a place of despair, became a symbol of hope and potential. This story reminds us that our struggles and challenges are opportunities for growth. Like the lotus, we too can rise above our difficulties and bloom into our full potential. Embrace your journey, trust the process, and remember that every challenge is a step toward becoming stronger and more beautiful. These 3 Buddhist stories, the journey of the raven, the Enlightened King, and the Compassionate Lotus, offer profound lessons on happiness, impermanence, and growth. They teach us to accept and appreciate our unique journey, understand that challenges are temporary, and see struggles as opportunities for transformation. By embracing these teachings, we can navigate through life's difficulties with greater resilience, peace, and hope. By sharing these stories, we aim to provide you with comfort and guidance. Remember, you are not alone in your struggles, and there is always a path to happiness and peace. Thank you for watching, and may these stories bring light and joy into your life.